Welcome to this podcast, Married to His Will. I am Suzette Williams, your host. If this is your first time, I am so excited to welcome you to this podcast. I'm so excited that you've taken the time to listen or watch. This podcast is for inspiration and enjoyment. I also take pleasure in providing a bit of clinical information here as well, since I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Georgia and nationally certified. Please catch up on previous episodes where I share my testimony, especially that first episode of season 1. I want to remind you that God can deliver you out of that problem you face. He's not only interested in saving you from hell, but He cares that you thrive in Him. I'm excited about this journey and for all those who have joined me along the way, and for those who will join me next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you find this content enjoyable or inspiring in any way. Please read the description area for any other information that may not be stated in the video or corrections that are made. Since my divorce, I have found a new appreciation for who I am and who I'm becoming in Christ. To my future hubby, if you're listening out there, may you find me where God has positioned me to be in His presence. I am so happy He is always there, and I plan to stay married to His will. Enjoy this next episode. Hello. Hi, everyone. It is me again, Suzette Williams, your host, with another episode of Married to His Will. I am so happy to be here again another time just to chit chat with you, my friends, my BFFs, my cousins, the ones who listen to me every week. I'm really privileged to be here. I'm so privileged to have this opportunity to speak to you again. I'm still rocking this short hair, trying to keep it together, y'all. And so I'm very happy to just be here again, just to express what's going on in my life. Oh my gosh, I have yet to sit down and create these dates for the people I have on standby to come on my podcast. They are willing and ready, but I just have not made those plans yet. But I certainly want that to happen since March is here and this is Women's Month. So happy Women's Month, everyone. We are marching into greatness on this wonderful month of March in the year 2025. For some reason, I'm very optimistic about this year. I feel like something great is coming to me. I don't know what. Maybe it's my boo. I have no idea, but I'm like ready. And I'm excited because God brought me a gift that I've been wanting in the shape of a vehicle. I told y'all I was waiting to be restored after such a rough year last year. As I think I've said before, last year was one of the most painful years of my life. And I went through some real financial challenges, some real financial difficulties. And I'm already seeing the hand of God coming through for me in this season of my life as I have relinquished all that I've done before, the way I've done it before, and I've relinquished my pride and everything else so that I may do what God asked me to do. How He wants me to manage my finances is exactly how I want to manage my finances. I want to be a good steward over what He gives me. And so I've had to wait patiently to purchase a vehicle because He wanted me to have one outright, not one that I was going to be in debt with. And so it happened this week, y'all. Yay! Testimony time. Yes. So I was able to purchase a vehicle and that happened this week. And thank God for Facebook Marketplace because I was able to go with my brother-in-law, Rohan Thompson. He was able to take me with him to purchase this vehicle from a regular family guy, right? And it felt like they reserved this vehicle for me. Like it was it's in top shape, first of all. It has one of those numbers that's very significant to me. When I began this podcast, it talks about how God would have me keep seeing numbers, the number 7 on the clock or in different places. And it was after I purchased the vehicle, I realized the year the year of the vehicle, that is a 2007 Honda Odyssey. And I was like, wait a minute. 2007. I did not realize, and I had just enough to purchase this vehicle. And I'm so grateful that the Lord answered my prayers in such an amazing way. I didn't even realize what the year, that how insignificant it was until the purchase was complete. And I am grateful because I was ready to be like, I was kicking and screaming a little bit because I didn't want to spend my money like that. I think I mentioned that in my last podcast. I really didn't want to spend it all, but God is teaching me new principles and new ways to manage my money. And I'm excited to learn. And then right on time, he gave me this group, this small group that is now occurring at Deeper Church because we're in that season of our small groups. And one of the groups I joined is called Compassion. No. It's a financial discipleship class. I'm going to say the name wrong. It's Compass, something like that. Yeah, Compass. So I believe that this is going to give me direction for my financial life. And we went through the first class today, and I'm so excited to be on this financial journey because I feel like God is equipping me already as he has brought me into a place of recovery. Recovered having a vehicle that is completely paid for, like my last one. My last one was paid for, but I did a whole bad deal and had to give up my car. So the rest is history. Felt like forever ago, but I just came through that. And so I'm grateful that I'm now on the other side of it where I have a brand new vehicle that I could call my own. And it's a 2007. As much as old as it was what God has for me. And I love it. It has all the bells and whistles that makes it comfortable to drive and take trips in. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to utilize this vehicle and that it was reserved just for me. And that I can see it being very useful. And I'm, just so grateful. So grateful. Every time I get into that car, into that van, I sit there and I'm like, God, I'm so grateful for what you've done for me. That I don't have to pay a car note on this thing, but that it's mine. That is such a great thing, right? I'm not in debt with this thing, but the Lord provided it for me. And I know this is how I'm going to feel when I meet the one that he preserved that person for me. That's what I feel. I'm so excited because this is the year of deliverance. I feel like it's a year of restoration and healing. All the good things that I need in my life. That's what I'm believing him for. Because the last couple of years have been extremely painful, but I feel like I'm on the other side of it. I have to say, even in my relationship with my ex, I feel like that's better. Like we're communicating better and we're dealing with the situations with the kids. I mean, I still have the brunt of everything, but I have no animosity. And I don't feel like I've had animosity, but I feel like we are just respecting our boundaries, which we should. We're respecting the boundaries that we put in place, and so far so good. We agree on things when it comes to change that needs to happen with the kids, such as now I have to take my youngest out of the current school she's in because it's just too far. I've been driving every day and it's just like, I can't do this anymore. I've got to simplify my life. So I drive her and I drive the other two to school. And so I'm making some big changes coming in the fall. And so that they're more where I live and I don't have to drive to Timbuktu to get them to school. That will make my life so much easier and less gas that I'm spending on. I'm still going to be driving them to school, but it won't be that big a journey. And the little one gets to take the bus, which is close by. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy about the changes that are being made. And, as far as my ex-husband goes, I feel like he's doing well. And we're in a good place. We are in a good place. We have come a very long way. And while I still feel things can be very unfair at times, I really feel like I'm not worried about any of that. I'm secure in who I am and where God has me. And I know why we're not together. It's very blatant. And I'm very happy that I'm in the space where I can live the life that I need to live according to God's will. I keep reminding you guys that the reason why I came on this podcast, because after the end of my marriage, my previous marriage, I was so sure that now I could be redeemed. I was so sure that God had taken me out of a bad situation. I was so sure, and I am so sure that He rescued me from a bad place. And I'm so glad that I am determined. I'm not saying that I've always remained in His will, but I'm very determined to stay in the path that He has for me. And while I'm learning and while I'm making mistakes and while I'm falling and then I get up, I am still walking in this mindset that I have to be married to His will. I'm married even to the Lord because He's the one that orders my steps. Right? I depend on Him for my daily bread, for every need that I have, for Him to meet my needs, and I do that so much more as a single woman. I really do feel like there's a thing called being married to the Lord because I have to go to Him for everything. It's kind of like when I was in a relationship with my ex-husband. I mean, we depended on each other for different reasons. And so I depend on the Lord more than ever. I've seen Him provide for me over and over and over again. And I'm so excited that He's brought me to the point where I am seeing recovery. I'm being restored. I am being healed and set free and delivered. I am overwhelmed with excitement this week for what God has done. And I went through a very tiresome week, but it was a good week because between the purchasing of the vehicle and all the other things that I had on my plate, it was just tiresome. But at the end of the week, I can say I am rejoicing. And in other news, besides the purchase of a car, I had to let go of someone this week that was so dear to my heart. And it was hard. It was really hard. I mean, I cried and I grieved because I'm like, Lord, why should I give up on someone so good? But there's no one good except God, really. And He knows my end from my beginning. And just because with my eyes I see something good or I believe this person has the best qualities and they're awesome, but they don't live their life the way they should, according to what I believe is the Holy Scriptures, I I think I lost my train of thought. But I think the main thing was that I'm listening and I'm obedient to the Lord about who I need to venture into a relationship with. And so I was crying because I was letting this person go. And after I had a conversation, I felt really even worse, so for telling this person, I can't talk to you anymore like that. I said, well, it's going to be a long time before I talk to you. And you know what? I started to grieve immediately. I cried. I said, God, this is so painful. I'm just not used to cutting people off. And the Lord said to me, I didn't say you couldn't be friends, but you have to stop dreaming and thinking about this person as the one because he is not the one suitable for you. And so I accepted the word of the Lord. And I immediately felt better after I texted this person and he responded very well and said, yes, we're going to be friends. We're friends. And it was great because I felt like, man, I broke this person's heart and it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best feeling at all. And so I got through it. I got over it. I'm feeling so much better because in the midst of that, after talking to someone for so long, you get really attached. I feel very well. I feel like I know that God's plans for me are so great. I trust His plans more than anything. And it just was relieving to know I wasn't cutting somebody off that I cared about, but that I was being obedient to the Holy Spirit, that because He's answered my prayer in this season. And I said to Him, I want the best of the best that He has for me. I don't want to settle for nothing left or nothing that's the rest. I want to get the best that God has for me. So I'm not settling in this season. And so I'm determined not to settle, no matter how long I have to wait. I mean, I don't want to wait too long, but I even in the middle of this week joined a dating app and I'm like, I don't know how people do this because this is just time consuming. I don't feel like I got time for this. So I had a little session on Friday with someone. I was the client. And I felt like in the middle of that session, the Lord was saying, you don't even need a dating app because I told you I'm bringing who I have for you. So sometimes God will tell you to wait for something, and you're listening to to other people say, well, you have to do this and you have to do that. Or maybe, you're it's delayed because you haven't done this or you haven't done that. Funny enough, as the women in a deeper church, we're in the study of Job. And, I'm reminded about Job's friends and how, they provided counsel and were giving him advice, and, and some of it sounded really good. And then even Job, it shows the ins and outs of how he was up and down in his responses, how he was feeling. And his wife was telling him to curse God. Sometimes we have friends and they mean well. And even for ourselves, we feel within ourselves that we have to do something to create, to gain what we need to gain. And we need to do something to fulfill the promises of God in our lives. And yes, in fact, we have to be in a posture to be able to do what he tells us to do when we need to do it. But at times, he literally just wants you to wait. And I think we have a hard time seeing that because we're so used to this driven society. We're driven to working hard. We're driven to fill every space with something to do. We don't know how to rest our behinds. We don't know how to rest. We don't know how to just sit still and wait on the Lord. And sometimes he just wants us to wait. Sometimes we can't hurry it up no matter how we try. And I'm over here looking at this app and I'm like, God, this is overwhelming. And he's like, you don't need this thing. All I needed to do is to get yourself focused on me, and I will do the rest. I have a gift for you that you can't give yourself. You realize every time you've chosen on your own, it wasn't the one, but you need to go back to what he told you before. He said to me, when you see it, you'll know it. And I suppose when I see it, I will know it. I don't know how is that to happen or in what form I'm going to see it and know it. But I believe the Lord when he speaks to me. I have struggled really with believing his voice, even after I went through my divorce, and what I expected to happen didn't happen, and I was in love with someone who wasn't in love with me. I mean, I went through a whole lot already over these past 3 years, and I say to the Lord, I trust you no matter what, because in the middle of the storm, he has always come through for me. In my destitute place, he came through for me. When I had nothing and I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills and how I was going to do what I needed to accomplish, he stepped in. I know the Lord more than I ever have through my trials. So I'm grateful that I can wait. There is a thing called waiting. That's not just serving, because I know we have this idea that, and I think it's so very popular now to say, when you say wait on the Lord, be of good courage, he will strengthen thine heart. But there are times we think, waiting is also to serve. But I think sometimes waiting is really just waiting, and it doesn't require any big action. So is God telling you to rest and just wait and see what the Lord will do? Some people are waiting for their healing. There's a song that just came to my mind. It's an old song. It says, look what the Lord has done. Look what the Lord has done. He healed my body. He touched my mind. He saved me just in time. Oh, I want to praise his name, for he's every day the same. Come, let us praise him. Look what the Lord has done. Now, if we're saying the Lord is doing it and we want to perceive it and see it, what part do we play in that? We're going to see what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. There's a song like that too. See what the Lord has done. What he has. I don't remember the rest of it, but it's pretty cool to know that God has something in store and He's going to do some things that you can't do for yourself, no matter how hard you try. Now, there are some things He's telling you to do that you haven't done, and you need to be obedient in order to see what He has for you. But there are just sometimes He's like, wait and see, and you will receive a miracle. Wait and see, and you will receive your healing. Wait and see, and you will have hope for your mind. You will have peace for your mind. Wait and see that the Lord is good. Look what the Lord has done. He's done many things for me, whereof I can be glad. I can be glad. I'm singing this new song on next Sunday. It's called Rejoice. I'm excited to sing it. Rejoice, rejoice, let everything that has breath. I want to rejoice today for all that He's done and for all that He's doing in my life. He brought me a car, a new vehicle that's paid for. I don't have to pay for it anymore. All I'm paying is insurance, and I wish I paid that up too for the year, but you know, I am seeing what the Lord has done. I am seeing it and I'm looking at it because it's evidence of His goodness to me. It's evidence of His loyalty. It is evidence that His promises are true. 2007. I didn't expect that. I think even the name is spelled with 7 letters. I'm telling you, y'all may not look into signs and things like that, but I do look at the signs when God gives me something that, just like He gave Noah a sign of the rainbow to show His promises. Sometimes God will give you a sign of His promises after you've talked to Him. And I know for me, He told me and He showed me a sign that He still sends His word and His promises are true. So whenever I see that 7, sometimes I'll just wake up and it's the number 7 on the clock. Sometimes I'll just be just doing something else and I look and there's a 7 on the clock. It's just like God constantly reminds me of His promises. And that might sound weird to you, but it's not to me. Wait on the Lord. Sometimes waiting is just waiting. Sometimes waiting is just waiting. And it doesn't require that you do much. And that's what I learned in my session on Friday. God said to me, I'm not requiring you to do much. Like, of course, I'm going to be obedient and I'm going to follow His plan. And as He tells me to go, I'm going to go and I'm going to do what I got to do. But I hear God saying, what He has for me next in terms of a relationship, I don't have to work to see it. That's something He's bringing to me. That's a gift from Him. And that's a word to me. And I'm not saying I can't date. He didn't tell me I can't go and, position myself for a date. He didn't say I can't do that. But if I'm starting to feel overwhelmed and it's a task to find someone and I'm like sifting through all these men, I'm like, it's overwhelming. I'm like, I don't know how people do this. Like 99 people like you. I'm like, okay, well, I don't like 99 of them. Now I gotta go through all of these faces and names and profiles to see who I like. It's cray, honey. I don't know about that, but whatever floats your boat, it works for some. And I was very excited about a client this week. And that was one of the reasons I knew God was showing me what He could do for me. Because she'd been sifting through a dating app for a while. And the Lord just blessed her with someone in the middle of that. After so long of trying, finally one met her expectations. And I hope it works out. But it was a reminder for me that I could be in any place at any time and God can bring me the one. And I just have to be open and obey his will. And I pray today that if, having heard my story, having heard my testimony, that you are also considering how you might become more um, about the will of God, more serious about his will. Because I'm telling you, there's no safer place than in the will of God. His will is what I want for my life. And I hope that you will want the same. So no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're up to, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're sick, whether you're sad, whether you're happy, whether you're grieving, oh my God is such a provider in every aspect of my life. So I want to remind you, no matter what your path is, where your path is leading you, I want you to stay married to his will. Stay tuned for an upcoming episode. I hope to have a guest with me, but I can't promise you, I just know sometimes the Lord leads me to speak to you on my own, and this has been working. And so I thank you for listening to me. But if you're on YouTube, it's going to offer you other videos to look at. Check out the entire podcast. I know some are your cup of tea and some of these episodes may not be your cup of tea, but enjoy what you can. And I'm just so thankful for you for listening and for watching. God bless you. Stay married to his will.